Okay, welcome. Today we are going to be doing the homemade churros. So over here I have my oil. I have it on a medium low. I need to get to 350. I'll turn it up if it's not quite there by the time I'm ready with my churros. But so I have that ready to go. And then in this saucepan I'm going to be making the churro dough. So we want to put into here 1 cup of water. I have 5 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to turn this on to a medium heat. Get that going, bring that up to a boil. That's the goal there. I have 1 tablespoon of sugar. This must have been a little bit wet. And then I have 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to mix that together until this comes up to a boil. So the butter should be melted by then. Okay, so we'll wait for that to come to a boil. Okay, so at this point it is boiling, and so now I want to turn it down to low. And I'm going to add in a cup of flour. And I'm going to stir that around. And make a dough from it. So we want to keep mixing this until all of the flour is mixed in there. You see little, and then also I'm going to get this sort of coating on the bottom of the pan. So I want this to be a really nice smooth mixture. Good. And then I'm going to transfer this to a mixing bowl. So I'll just put the mixing bowl over here so you can see it. So I'm going to transfer that mixture into the bowl just to give it it'll slightly cool. Now let that cool for a few minutes, and then we'll add the egg, 2 eggs, and vanilla into there. Okay, so this has been cooling for about 5 minutes, and then in this custard cup I have 2 eggs beaten and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna put that in there, and now we want to mix this together until this looks like a smooth dough. I just have to really, it's going to take a little bit to blend this nice and smooth, but it will come together. Okay, so now I have blended those 2 eggs and vanilla, and you can see it's a nice smooth batter. Now, piping bag would obviously be the best situation to pipe these into the oil. I realize most of you don't have piping bags, so I'm just going to use what most of you will have, is a zip top bag. So I'm going to fill that up. So if you turn down the sides and then put your hand underneath, you can scrape the spoon off when you're filling it. You can hear my oil cracking away there. I think it probably should be pretty close to being done. So we want it to get to 350. And obviously our churros are not going to be like those long characteristic churros that you can get at Costco or whatever. We're just going to make them more like churro bites. It's since we don't have that really large deep fryer to do these in. And then I'm going to press all the dough down to one corner. Okay, and I'm going to cut that corner off. Okay, so my oil is at 350, and over here I have paper towels to drain the churros when they come out. And then I have the 1/4 of a cup of sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon in there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is you also need a pair of scissors. I washed these, and we're going to pipe and cut. Pipe, cut. And for authentic churros, there's actually a piping nib for that. I have them at the school, but I don't have one here. So they're just really big tips that give it that characteristic edges down the side. And we're gonna keep these in here until they're golden brown. And you want the first one I take out, I always check to see if the inside's cooked before I take the rest of them out. So I can probably get one batch in here and then do one more batch after this batch. Alright, so we'll let that cook until they're golden brown. Alright, so I have my last batch going in here, and so this batch over here, you see I tested one, make sure it was cooked, and then it was, so it pulled the others out. Oops. And now I'm going to roll them in the cinnamon sugar. So they're more like little churro balls. I'll show you them in here in a second. So there they are. So you just keep doing that. Now, I'm going to change the recipe. It says 3 to 4 minutes, and these took between 5 to 8 minutes, so a little longer than the recipe says. And I do have this still at 350. So there you have it.